All right, boys, we are live. We are back. STA X-Pipe is here for the Dark Horse. Fresh in the bag. Let's get this thing cut open. May or may not have a knife. I'm waiting for this thing to come in for a bit now. Finally got it. Super stoked. But the Dark Horse does have a little, I think a little more, or maybe a little under 400 miles to it. So she's still fresh. You know, we got the tour coming up. If you guys want to come out to that, and we're road tripping this car. I'm coming from Maryland. Derek's coming from Richmond. Our first meet is in Richmond. Then we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina. Then we're going to Atlanta. We're teaming up with a lot of cool YouTubers down there. Fox Body FX. It's just a 6. So we're going to be road tripping these cars. We're going to be racing these cars on the speedway. We got a lot of fun stuff planned, so we got to get these cars ready. I do have wheels, extra set of wheels for the Dark Horse. And yeah, I am running out of time. We have less than 10 days left to install the X-Pipe, get the wheels, get new tires done, and oil change, and yeah, I may want to do PPF on the car. I haven't yet decided, but my time window is going like this, extremely fast. When we have to leave, I have to be in Richmond. I don't know the exact date. I can't remember off the top of my head. My mind's been all over the place, but we're gonna knock this out. I got Meatball, my lead tech. Come on, Meat. This is the guy gonna be handling the blade today, and we're gonna knock this out. Let's go, Meat. All right, boys, first order of business is we're gonna line this thing up and kind of eyeball it where we're gonna have to cut. I will get a Sharpie just to mark everything, just to make sure, because you don't want to cut too much off. If you cut too much off, then you're screwed. Usually when I cut it, I always cut where I think I know I'll have extra space, if that makes sense. If I'm supposed to cut it here, I'll cut it back here, just to make sure when I go to test fit the pipe, if that's the case, I'll have to cut just a little bit more off. That's easier than having to take it to a shop and get a welder and do all that other BS, which is not gonna be fun. Meatball, where you going, bro? I need the Sharpie. Get the Sharpie, we're almost ready. So yeah, gotta make some marks in it, line it up, and then I gotta take these 2 clamps off. I ordered the extra clamps through STA for the back side, so we got everything we need. Just need to replace this big canister with this, and we should be ready to rock. I need to get some bungee cords to tie out, obviously, the back of the exhaust, so it doesn't droop or mess up the modules in the back for the active, because that is also another thing. So you're gonna need some bungee cords with this, and yeah, I don't have much help with me, as you can see. We got Meatball, so let's try to knock this out. All right, so I did make my little Sharpie marks and my little redneck Ingenuity, kind of bungee cord it. I don't know how well that's gonna work, but I did something similar before, so when I cut it, the exhaust shouldn't fall. That's the only thing I did to prevent it. So it's tight there, it's tight there, and I did one across. I think I'm gonna do one more across just to make it stiffer, just because I don't wanna mess up the tips. Tips were perfect from the factory, and they do look good. There is a few rock chips on there around the edges, but up in the air on the lift, you're gonna see everything that makes the car look bad. And there's another one right there. So yeah, I don't wanna mess these up, keep them in the same place. So that's why we got the bungee cords. I'm gonna put one more, like I said, I'm gonna put you guys back on the tripod, get the cutting right there. That's why I marked the line. So I think I could be able to cut a little more off, maybe like another ½ an inch, I wanna say, but I marked it a little short. Right where the pipe starts to go straight is where I'm cutting it. So right along that line right there should be perfect. And then unbolt it, drop it, and just slide the X-Pipe in, beat it in with a hammer, and it should be pretty easy to go in. Fingers crossed. Probably end up being 3 hours later, and I'm still be working on this. So yeah, wish me luck. All right, first cut on the Dark Horse. 385 miles, I think, to the dot. So Resonator had a good life.
FBI, open up!
Pretty straight cut so far. I was very close to hitting the gas tank. Resonator off. Anyone wants to buy it, or if you want me to ship it to you, I can ship it. I will sign it, and this might be going in one of your guys' orders. Factory Ford Resonator off of Dark Horse. Time to slide the X-Pipe on. I think I got everything prepped. So the cuts look good. So now I just gotta slide this in as far as I can get it. You're gonna wanna use a rubber hammer, and I recommend a piece of wood. I got like a 2x4 over there. So put the 2x4 right where the STA puts their S, and good thing their welds are good, because I'm about to beat the shit out of this pipe. So yeah, shout out STA. Y'all got a turbo or anything, send it over my way. We'll get this thing mounted up in about 15-20 minutes. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. See if we can knock this thing out. I cannot wait to start it. I'm putting this thing on the ground and we are firing this thing up. Or maybe tomorrow because it's already dark out. And I'm gonna maybe be fighting with this thing for a little bit longer. Just like I suspected, I didn't cut enough off. So that's why I told you guys, make sure to just cut it. And if you have to cut more off, that's better than having to add. So I got it perfect, absolutely perfect this time. So I'm just trying to get it spot on so I can slide the clamps over. And just gotta bolt everything back up. And then once you do this, you wanna readjust the tips also. The tips, a little trick to this, which I just figured out myself. When you do this, to get this pipe, give you a little more clearance room because you still want it to kind of hang a little more this way. Push your mufflers all the way out on the hangers. Just make sure they don't fall out. Push them all the way back. And mind you, this is like the second time me doing this. And the last time I did this was over 3 years ago. And check out my finger. My finger's got like a 5th degree burn. Can't feel it right now, but it's good. That's builds character. So yeah, almost done. Just gotta slide the clamps over and just bolt everything up and it should be good. I'm gonna fire the car up in a bit, lower it off the lift. Not all the way off. I'm gonna still keep it on there because I wanna check for exhaust leaks. I'm gonna let it run, let it heat cycle on the lift, and then obviously bring it back up, torque it down, make sure everything's good. But yeah, so far so happy. And all the bungee cords, I think I used about 15 bungee cords to hold up the exhaust. Doing this by yourself, I granted had my dad help me a little bit, but if you don't do this if you have to do it by yourself, you just need a bunch of bungee cords and just over brace it. I don't have any tools to hold the exhaust all the way up in the air. It's not a full shot, but I have a lift. But I need to get some more stuff. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. So far so good. I'll probably pick it back up once I have everything buttoned up, and then we'll be lowering the car to fire it up to hear it for the first time. Stock, it sounded good, but now I think the X-Pipe is just me just right. That sounds better. Hey, it's not even open yet. That sounds perfect. All right, guys, quick little round. Car's warmed up in a few minutes. I'm not gonna go crazy, maybe like 3K RPMs. Brother from another mother. Tell me how them things look. Chuck, we're live. I got the camera out. Don't show them the spacers that we're gonna have to put on the Dark Horse.
They're like 3-inch spacers.
Yep, not 3-inch, they're a little smaller. This goes against everything I've ever said and wanted to do. I never ever run spacers.
This is the car we're gonna test it on.
Yeah, we're testing it on the new car because if anything happens, we have warranty. And I really wanted to run the BC Forge wheels just for the road trip. You guys know, if you guys want to check that out, here's the dates. They'll all be in the description of today's video. You guys saw it, put the X-Pipe on, and now we got to get it off the lift to get the wheels on. So I want to test everything before we go on the drive. And you guys know the Dark Horse comes with like straight up racing tires. So I had these. What happened?
I thought you scratched it off. I wiped it off though.
Oh, was it?
Tried it on, yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that's still enough threads. That don't look too bad.
Yeah, that's why I said we can't get a thicker one.
That's like the perfect size. Now, hopefully the offset's good so it don't rub.
They're not, the only thing, they're not like the hub-centric ones, but I think you should be good.
We have the car jacked up from the rear right now because getting these wheels on and off, the lift, the post, it hits the post arm here, or it's gonna crush this and kick out this panel. We've done it before, and yeah, that's why it has to be like this, or we would have used the lift. It works?
Damn, yeah, look, it's still tight. Good thing we got these.
Really?
Look.
Dang.
That's good though now.
All right, we'll bolt her up, do the other side, call it a day. Oh, let's get this cold start. BC Forge wheels fit, everything looks good. The problem is, because I don't want to run the track tire at the for the whole drive, we're gonna be putting thousands of miles on, and those tires are extremely expensive. I'd rather waste them at the track. So I want to get these. I'm gonna get different spacers, but Colin is selling his Rohanas, so we need to put these tires on, get those in the shop, and then swap everything out because they're gonna be sold. Oh my. Wow. That is so perfect. X-Pipe is the moves. Can't tell if the valve is all the way open or closed. I gotta wash the car today. I gotta see this car out in the light. But we're definitely gonna get a bigger tire for the rear just because it looks a little whack. I mean, you gotta think the car is sitting still jacked up. Gotta have to do some redneck engineering to get this thing on and off the lift. God, I'm loving this thing. Absolutely loving it. Wheels are perfect. BC Forge wheels, they're super light, super strong. One of the lightest and one of the strongest wheels. That's another reason I wanted them for this car. And yeah, I mean, the tires, I mean, I kind of got spec'd the wrong size, you could say, for the tires, but make sure everything's good. You're good, Chuck. Bring her on back. Oh. She's fresh. Those are those fresh nittos. Oh my God, the BC Forge looks so good. Colin, roll down this window. Hey, turn the wheel to the left slow. I want to make sure nothing will rub. I don't think it's hitting, it's just like... It's just the tire making the noise. Yeah, they're really grippy. Turn it the other way, to the left. Dang, that is so loud. I mean, it is tight. Is that all the way? Wow. Yeah, so 20s really aren't the move on the dark horse because you're gonna rub in some spots. So I guess 19s are better for this car. But I mean, the 20s don't look bad. I mean, the fronts, that's as big as you're gonna go with the 20. And then for the rear, we can obviously put a little bigger of a tire. Why do they sound so grippy? I don't know why they sound like that. Yeah, just parking in the sun, Colin. Let the tint, well, also. Yeah, that looks so sick. Leave it in neutral, let it roll down the hill. I mean, the Fitment don't look too bad. Got a nice little tire poke, but obviously they're not as wide, and you do need a little more sidewall. See how it's settled a bit? I mean, it still don't look bad.
The tires were loud as hell.
I know, they're super grippy. It's because they really haven't been used. It definitely needs a...
It don't look that bad, actually, now that it went down a little bit.
It don't look horrible. I gotta drive it. But dude, it was close. They got a little poke to them.
I know.
Nice little poke. It sounded so good with the X-Pipe.
I heard it reversing.
It sounded so perfect. Dude, it's close. You cannot go any bigger tire size up front. That is
How wide is the wheel on the front? Is it
20 by 10. 20 by 10 and 20 by 11 for the rear.
What are the dark horse? 19 by what, 10?
19 by 10 and then 19 by 11 for the rear should be. Let me know what you guys think. I love the front. I love the BC Forge wheels. BC Forge look good. So we had to pick this up the next day. You guys saw yesterday previously that me and Colin were trying to put on the BC Forge wheels on the dark horse, having a little trouble. We had to use spacers, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of using spacers. I was gonna say screw it, and we were gonna run it. Meatball, do not get in the car, brother. That is not for you to be in there. So we were gonna run the spacers, and then I was like, you know what? It's not gonna be the safest, and it's not gonna, I don't know. It just wasn't gonna be good. I heard a lot of horror stories of spacers. I've heard some people run them, and they've been perfectly fine, but they were like the generic AutoZone ones, so they weren't definitely not the best ones I could possibly get, and if I was gonna get them, I would rather get the hub-centric ones. So yeah, other than that, we're not gonna be running the BC Forge wheels, and plus, hitting the track with this car in Atlanta, and hitting Tail the Dragon, I want the tires on it. I want the exact spec from the factory, but we got a little more tone out of it. X-Pipe is perfect. I'm gonna throw in another clip. We did a cold start this morning and it sounded absolutely phenomenal. And you guys just heard that. So far on the clock, we were rocking at 400, what is that? We were at like 460 miles, I think, and we got the first oil change. Everyone said do it at 1,000, but you know, I've always done my cars at 500 miles, so I'm gonna stick to that. We went with 5W50, so a little thicker of a weight. This car calls for 530, which is just a hair more. It's not crazy much, but this is gonna be a track purpose built car, so we're gonna be running it hard. So it's gonna break down the oil a little slower than the 530. That's all it is. Just 50 is just a little bit thicker of of a weight, and the way we're going to be driving this car, beating it and putting thousands of miles on it, we're going to need this oil. So I got all the oil needed, got the filter, and I did notice on this car, if you guys want to check out the previous video, I did like a short little video of showing everything underneath this car, giving you guys an in-depth look underneath the car, because I would have been curious to see underneath the car, and I was curious for the longest time. I wanted to see if there was any major changes on the S550 platform to this one, and it kind of does look similar. But if you guys want to check it out, link will be in the description, or I'll tag it at the end of this video. So it's pretty cool. You get to see all the air ducts and how Ford routed some stuff. They put new carpet underneath the car, but besides the point, if you guys want to watch it, go check it out. I made a short video just so you guys who really wants to see that, I dedicated one video truly just towards that. But yeah, we got the oil, X-Pipe, and I think we're going to do some more wrapping stuff. I did order some wrap. We're going to try to wrap a certain piece of the car. I'm not going to say yet, but it's going to be good. I think it's going to be cool. It's going to give it like its own little touch, because I know some other YouTubers did get white dark horses, so you got to get them to stand out a little bit, and the car's disgusting. I've been breaking it in properly, but not been babying it, so I've been giving it the proper mechanical break-in. 500 miles is perfect for the oil change, and I think it's gonna be good. Gonna do the first oil change probably at Revolution, because this car is an absolute pain in the ass to get on the lift. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Just give you guys an update. I've been trying to find new filters for the for like the K&N whatever filters, but every place I went to, they said they don't have that exact size. So hopefully we can get rid of the paper ones, because the paper ones are kind of crap, and the K&N ones will help it breathe a little bit better. We are going to have this car on the dyno at Power Curve in North Carolina, so if you guys want to come out to that, please come out. The tour details are everything in the description below. Much love, guys, as always. Road to 100K, and I will catch you in the next one. Deuces.
Everybody waiting for the come up. I ain't sharing one thing. Yeah, I'ma keep on working till the sun up, till I get my rollie and my chain. Yeah. Doubt in my life when I dropped out of class, and fuck you to college, they scamming your ass, and you don't even know what the fuck you there for. Government made you the puppet, you know. Ain't nobody gonna tell you